thought I had more time.
Today on DNVR Buffs Live, the surprise player who will be returning back with the Buffs next season. And also, Julian Lewis plays football this week. Let's get it.
Buff Nation!
Let's go!
Squad! Welcome into the DNVR studios. It's DNVR Buffs Live. Yes, Julian Lewis plays football this week. There's a lot to talk about today. Holy cow.
There is.
Shedeur Sanders finally got on the field in a live NFL game. We'll get into all that.
This week.
Yep. We got Coach Prime's pressers today. We'll talk about ASU. I mean, they're in the news unrelated to this football game this weekend. We'll recap the Big 12 as well. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Amazing, man. I feel like this really feels like a new week. I don't know. It's maybe just me personal thing. I'm not even really talking about football or anything, but this just feels like a new week. We got Friendsgiving tonight here at the bar. I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah, I'm feeling good, bro. Like you said.
What are you bringing?
We learned a lot today. Some apple pie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Homemade.
From scratch. From scratch.
Your mom hook you up with the recipe, or your dad? Your dad cooks too.
Yeah, my dad is. He usually does the cooking and baking, and I can't remember. Dad, I'm sure you're watching. Comment if I'm wrong, but I don't think my dad has really ever made an apple pie for real. But that's not really his arena. But yeah,
so it's your thing now.
Yeah. Just gonna pull up on
Jake,
King
what are you
Supers.
bringing?
Just remember to scratch off the sticker before you bring it in.
That's step one, brother. Obviously.
Sale.
I'm bringing the same thing I brought last year. Just bringing a little pumpkin bread, a little red chili.
You brought pumpkin bread last year?
Yeah, we were at his place.
Yeah.
I remember that. I don't remember you bringing the pumpkin bread, but I do remember. I'm looking forward to the red chili again.
Both of that red chili was an enhancer. I forgot
It really
about
was.
that.
I put it right on the turkey.
Yep.
Beautiful.
We had it at my house too. Damn. Might need you to save some.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's like the easiest thing in the world to make. We can make you some more too.
All right. I feel great. I was getting personal live scoops from you guys before the show. It's been a while since we did one together.
Oh my God.
It feels good. I feel like the family's all just back together. It's Friendsgiving tonight.
Yeah,
it has family vibes around here.
Very much so. Very much. Congratulations to the Broncos too, man. I know you guys had a big, fun-filled weekend, man. What a dub.
That was huge.
What a hell of a
told
dub.
you.
And the Bears.
You did. Shout out to
First
the
place
Bears
club.
as well. First place. You
Yes,
feel
sir.
Me? First. Who would have thought?
I know.
I mean, you guys
Look at
thought,
us.
but look at us. First place in what is this? The week of Thanksgiving or a week before Thanksgiving? You love to see it.
Unbelievable. We'll get to that and much more. All right. Starting with today's press conferences, I mean, Coach Prime addressed it pretty much straight off the top. He did his students of the week thing, shouted out the soccer programs and volleyball and all that stuff going on. And then he goes, all right, let's talk about Rick, straight to it. So here's Coach Prime, addressing, the news that came out last week that Rick George will be, retiring at the end of this school year. Here's what he had to say.
Jump right to Rick. I love Rick to life. I don't feel like I'm losing him because I feel like he's still going to be a part of the program. He didn't leave because of what's transpiring this year. It was already a plan in place that Rick was going to step away from his original post, but he's going to still help the program. I love him. I mean, I wouldn't be here without him, and we've talked extensively for a while about this decision that he's making, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be in good hands. They've already started the search, and they already started some wonderful things, so I'm pretty sure with what I know from the persons I'm in contact with here, they're going to make a great selection. So I don't doubt that by any means. I want to coach football and win football games. That's what I want to do. I don't need. I could be involved as much as they want me to. I'm not that kind of guy that I gotta have say. I'm not built like that. Contrary to what anybody would think. I love this game. I love these young men, and I just want this program to be the best it can be. I'm pretty sure they're gonna make a wise decision. We have a chancellor and a president that's on their game. They're on their game.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Rick George. And Rick George isn't going anywhere, too. We talked about that as well.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I still believe that Coach Prime will be able to help with his contacts. You know, he might be able to get you into some rooms and in some conversations that you wouldn't be able to get in previously. So I think that's another way that you could say that he's not going to say, hey, you have to do this or you have to do that, but he might be able to say, hey, I can get you a conversation with this person or that person. And that's big.
100%. I just have a lot of faith that they're going to get this hire right, especially because Rick George is still involved and he's going to have a lot to say in what this role has to continue to look like, how it has to change moving forward as NIL and college sports change in the landscape around it. And I just like to Coach Prime answer, listen, that's not really my job. Like they want me to help. That's what I would do. I'm going to help. But my job is to coach this football team. And I like that he made that clear because, like you said, I think it can get messy when you have a head football coach, whoever that may be, trying to make decisions on a new athletic director who, would impact the entire athletic department. And obviously the football is, in most cases, at most schools, the biggest part of an athletic department. But I think this, like Coach Prime mentioned, the president and the chancellor, I think they've earned the right and the trust to, find the right person and lead this search the right way for the next man or woman.
And let's not forget something we haven't talked about, like how desirable of a job this is.
Of course.
It's exponentially more desirable than when Rick George took over. And Rick George at the time was a really great hire.
Exactly.
And so you've raised the bar in terms of I think the hiring pool that's available to you. And then sometimes it gets lost in these discussions. You get to live in Boulder, Colorado.
Right.
Like especially the types of people who are usually hired for these athletic director positions are former CEOs and things of that nature. Like, you don't think those people want to move their families to Boulder, Colorado?
Yeah.
So this is a great opportunity, a great job, more eyes than ever, more money coming into the program than ever. Ticket sales on the football side are great. I mean, that's not something that has always been true. So a really good candidate is going to look at this and say, yeah, this is a great job.
For sure. I think it's worth noting too. I mean, Jeremy Bloom, he's been just putting out candidates on Twitter. He seems pretty locked in on, obviously just hired by the X Games, I think in December.
I think that's his way of politely saying,
yes.
Sorry guys, the timing's not right. I really do think if he hadn't just taken this role, it could have been.
For sure.
I love how all the replies under his tweets are like, we hear you, but we want you, bro. I just thought that was
there's
funny.
The one guy who always says me.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't sleep on RK for AD, man. Let's not forget what we're trying to do here. But just to double down on what you were talking about, just in terms of Colorado being an attractive, spot for an athletic director. Like, I think in the two most important spots, sports, football, men's basketball, this Colorado program has like two true freshman stars.
Yeah.
And obviously Julian Lewis, and I think Isaiah Johnson on the basketball side of things is like a future star, if not already a star, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about the Olympic sports. I think, even soccer had a big moment
just
in the
won,
NCAAs last week. We just heard from the cross-country coach today, they're going to the NCAA championships this weekend. Like, you look at around the entire athletic department.
Skiing?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Look around the entire athletic department. There are a lot of great things going on with this program that I think any athletic director would be very much happy to be in this role.
Totally. All right. People in the chat are talking. Here's Ben. He's got an announcement he wants to make.
Yeah, so it's actually not going to be my last game in Folsom because I have another year. But it's going to be emotional seeing a lot of my friends go. Obviously, we got a lot of seniors on our team, and guys like Arden and JB and Mata and guys that I've been around for a few years now. You know, it's going to be sad to see them go, but yeah, it's not going to be my last day, so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, most definitely. I think I found out in May. I just haven't told any of you guys. But yeah, so I've known for quite a while that this wasn't going to be my last year, but it's definitely exciting, obviously, because, you know, this season hasn't gone exactly the way I had hoped, and there's a lot of things that I wish I could do over that I didn't quite do correctly. But, you know, the good thing is I got one more shot at it, and I'm going to leave it all out there, and a lot of things are going to change, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
So it's senior day on Saturday. It's the last home game for a lot of guys wearing black and gold. A lot of guys that, I mean, even Coach Prime, talking about Mata and JB, that being their last game and how tough that is going to be for him. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But getting Ben back for next year is huge. I mean, we talked about leadership all year. This guy is, you know, really ascended into one of the leaders of the program. And we'll talk about more from him today and what he said about Julian, too. Like, this is the exact type of player Colorado needs for this next year. Just this type of leader, someone who's been at the program from before the beginning of this current era. Like, getting Ben back is just, it can't be understated how massive that's going to be.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed because of all people, I would have hoped that Ben would do the "I'm not fucking leaving." Show goes on. But anyways, you nailed it, Jake. I saw a couple different types of responses to this news, and the negative one is missing the point. Doesn't necessarily get it. Ben Finneseth is exactly the type of person that you want to have on your football team. And when we talk about, I feel like we talk about this every day on this show now, but pride and passion.
Yep.
And, you know, the care for the university that is harder to obtain in 2025 in college football, that exists with Ben. And we've seen it since last year, and he's only playing on special teams, but dude plays his heart out on every single play.
Yep.
So Ben being on the team, and this is true of all players who are on the team this year, damn near, you're always trying to replace the guys who are out there with guys who are better. So that doesn't necessarily mean that Ben is starting at safety, but it means that someone who's going to start at safety is going to have to be better than him and going to have to outperform him and and do all of the right things in practice. And so that is a great level to have out there as a baseline. And so, yeah, of course you want Ben back. And of course he's an asset to this team, whether that's on defense or on special teams or simply just in the locker room.
Yep.
And the word accountability, which we hear all the time from Coach Prime, from other coaches, from the players on this team, like Ben is the epitome of that. Like even today, he was like, me not being as good enough of a leader as I should have been this year is a reason why we are in this position record-wise. And for him to not only realize that, but say that and take on that ownership and that accountability is really what this locker room needs. And, you know, we thought the OBs was out of here after this year. But keeping that in the locker room, keeping another guy in the locker room who was on this team from last year, who was around Shedeur, who was around Travis, who was around Cam, keeping as many guys like that in the locker room as long as possible to, you know, flesh that out to the rest of the guys is so important. So it's not really as much about what Ben can or might do on the football field and I think, you know, we're going to see the best version of him next year from an on the field perspective, but it's about what he brings to the locker room. Like, I don't know if there's a guy in that locker room more loved, more liked, more respected, more funnier than Ben Finneseth. Like, he is essential to the goodness of that locker room. And again, when you get an extra year when maybe you didn't think, let's say a year ago, that you thought you would be, like, that can be looked at as like a new lease on life. Like, and I think we already saw Ben kind of come out of his shell a little bit this year from a leadership perspective. And I think next year is going to be something even greater than that. So I just love that. That was some of the best news that we could have got today, honestly. Having been around for another year, for another offseason to grow with these young guys, to help grow this quarterback who he's obviously already had some impact on is massive for the development and the future of this program.
I mean, and just playing through this year too. I mean, not only the connection to the OBs and to Shedeur and Travis and, you know, the 23-24 team, but Ben's just going to have this all-encompassing perspective. And I really hope he steps up even more so to kind of share that perspective and try and, because you're going to have another group of guys who are coming in, and I mean, it's November 18th, probably 2 months. You're going to have a complete crop of new players coming in, guys leaving. So having Ben there just to kind of, hold the standard too. And kind of that pit in your stomach from this year to still hold on to that and also be able to talk about, how good it was 2 years ago, how close they were to really achieving their dreams and goals 2 years ago. It's going to be massive for this team.
And then just on the field, one last thing, like the core of this safety room is pretty much back next year.
Yeah.
You obviously got Ben coming back. You got Tawfiq coming back. Carter's slated to come back. So is Slaughter, who's played some good football the last couple of weeks. So those are at least 4 guys who you relied a lot upon in the safety room coming back next year. And that doesn't mean that they don't continue to add via the transfer portal and add in the high school ranks at that position as well. But you have some guys who knows what it takes, who are familiar with Robert Livingston's system, his defense, and that's obviously good for next year as well.
All right, let's talk about Julian Lewis. A lot of great stories from Ben actually on Julian. But first, let's take our first break. Shout out to our homies over at Bet365, man. It was a beautiful weekend to be a Broncos fan and on Bet365. Your boy made quite a lot of money over there. Jaleel McLaughlin anytime touchdown. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. We took the under in the game. We took RJ Harvey 3+ receptions, and we took Broncos money line, baby. It was a beautiful weekend over at Bet365. Get in all the action right now and sign up with that code DNVR365 when you do. You'll get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use the code DNVR365, deposit $10, and place a bet of $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Basically anything. If it's on Bet365 and you have bonus bets, they're going to let you use that money on that stuff, whatever it is. It's never ordinary at Bet365. You must be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Also, shout out to the homies over at Taco Bell, man. Taco Bell just fueling us and keeping us tip-top shape as we hurtle towards the end of this Buff season. Last home game, if you're going to come out and see the Buffs over at Folsom Field, make sure you hit that Taco Bell on baseline after the game. Get yourself a Buffs box. They got all kinds of cool new menu items going on over at Taco Bell. They've truly been killing it for the last forever months. I mean, I don't know, 3-4 months, whatever it's been. Check out the Cantina chicken menu. They got new flavorful chicken, slow roasted and perfectly seasoned with Mexican spices, including garlic, onions, and a variety of chilies as well. And of course, again, those Buffs boxes, 4 Taco Bell Classics, $7, plus a large drink and a CU Buff player collectible cup. Taco Bell is also a proud sponsor of CU Athletics and will be donating $1,000 to the Golden Buffalo Scholarship Foundation for every CU touchdown scored this year. Let's see a lot of touchdowns on Saturday and get into the Diablo Sauce area. Buffs love the bell. Live Moss. All right, let's talk about Julian. First off, here's Coach talking about, how Julian has really improved, what he saw from that game last Saturday. And then, just a lot of great stuff from Ben. The lessons that he tried to teach Julian, how he tried to hold Julian to a standard, and also just something to look forward to with Julian moving forward as well.
Growth, yeah, because now you've gotten out there, you're seeing how it is, you got to lay of the land. Some of the mistakes you made, we don't expect you to make those again because now you understand what we want. You got game action, you got live action, you understand where the blitz is coming from, what they're going to do to you. We got packages for that. We got things implemented in those calls. When you feel hot, you feel heat, let's get out of it. Let's go to something else. And you know what we got to do on first downs and how valuable that is. Young quarterbacks come in, sometimes they think it's 7-on-7 because 7-on-7 is taking over the country right now with high school football and whatever. So they got to understand, no, this is football. You got to get a little bit at a time and move the chains, and not just chunks. So you can't think like that. And he's done a great job of maturing and understanding how to study film.
Obviously we didn't get the outcome we wanted against West Virginia, but there's a positive to bring out of it. And you guys saw the way that he played too. And so I hope that recruits are seeing that and are like, this kid's got a bright future and understands the people that we have here. And it's a lot to lean on, and it's a lot to look forward to. And it gave me a huge light on the inside that, that this could really turn into something, because I'm excited for Juju. And like I was telling him, is you have a great opportunity, and you can show the world right now who you are with this opportunity that you're given. And so it's good. I don't know. It's gonna be fun. He actually hated me in the spring because I was on his tail about little things and what it takes. And he actually came up to me this summer because I was like, "You changed, buddy." I would give him I probably shouldn't say this, but I would give the quarterbacks a depth chart based on their work ethic in the spring, and I put him bottom of the pack about every single day, and that's really why he hated me. But it got to him, and then this summer, I didn't have to be on his butt as much, and I was like, "Bro, I'm proud of you." And he was like, "You know what? Thank you," because he appreciated the fact that I was on him the whole time, and that I never gave up on him, and I gave him his props. I was like, "You come a long way, dog." And he's going to continue to get better. Obviously, he's super young, like, he damn near be my kid, but he's going to continue to get a lot better, and the lights are going to be bright for him. So I'm excited for Juju. It's going to be awesome. One of the things I'm really looking forward to this upcoming year is, as he gets more confident, you can tell he's got that fire and wants to talk smack. And heading into this, like, I love talking smack, and I love trying to get in people's, trying to chat with people. So he's got that. He's gonna want to talk back with me, and that's the thing is, when we're doing that, it's gonna elevate everyone around us. If you have a safety and a quarterback who are the two most competitive people on your team, you're gonna go a long ways. And so it's gonna bring the people around us up, and that's really what I'm looking forward to, is because he's starting to get to that point, and really me too, because this was like really my first year playing defensively. And now that I've, started a good set of games and played a good number on defense, and as Juju is going to get more comfortable too, like, it's going to build our confidence with each other, and it's going to be fun to just go, head to head with him every day. So it's going to be fun.
That's why Ben's so important.
Wow, that was good stuff.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I feel like each one of those 3 clips from Ben deserved their own reaction. But the first one, when he's talking about how, like, everyone saw what Julian did out there.
Mm-hmm.
But he mentioned something there along the lines of, like, that lit something inside of me.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, it gave me a huge light on the inside that this could really turn into something.
Yeah. That is not a rare feeling in Boulder right now. A lot of players are feeling that. A lot of coaches are feeling that. A lot of players' parents are feeling that. Like, oh, okay, like, there's something here now. Like, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a diamond in the rough that is this season, and it's pretty cool to see that all kind of come together here at the end of the season. Mm-hmm. We mentioned it before Julian started, like, this is why you have to do it, because you got to have something to hang your hat on going into next season. Yeah. And there it is, not coming from me or Jake or Scotty, coming from a player on the team saying, like, okay, that hit a spark inside of me.
Yep.
And that's pretty cool. And then you want to talk about leadership? Giving the quarterbacks their own depth chart on work ethic every day? What the hell?
Yeah, man.
I was actually in a meeting recently talking about, like, having to have how important it is to have uncomfortable conversations with people. Mm-hmm. Especially, like, in our workplace. We're literally having Friendsgiving tonight because we're all friends.
Yeah.
But for a business, a team, for anyone to be successful, someone has to be the one that's willing to say, like, hey, by the way, this wasn't good enough.
Yep.
We have to be better here.
Yeah.
And that is awesome from Ben to be able to do that and to be able to push. And awesome from Juju to maybe not love it at first. No one would. No one likes to hear, hey, you got to do this better, or you're not doing enough here.
Right.
But to then come back to Ben and be like, hey, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That resonated is really cool.
That is everything you want to hear right there. And like you said, Jake, that is exactly why Ben Finneseth coming back next year is massive for this football team, for this locker room, for Julian Lewis, even potentially, right? Because that, when I hear stuff like that, like, it just brings me back to, like, when I played and whatnot. But, like, every young guy, like, whether they want to admit it or not, they want a vet. They want a big bro. They want an OG to, like, help them, especially when they're young, and teach them to lay the land and be hard on them sometimes and give them shit. And that is exactly the role Ben is playing and can continue to play. Because I'm sure, like you mentioned, RK, like, that probably pissed Juju off at the beginning. Like who is this motherfucker making a damn depth chart about how much we're doing and I'm last every like what the hell is that? He's probably like this some bullshit. And then it was probably a day that clicked where Juju probably realized he was subconsciously doing more, whether to further his own kind of spot on the depth chart.
No one wants to
team.
see their name in the bottom of any list.
Of anything, especially when it's coming from a respected kind of leader or person or figure in the locker room like Ben is. And I just don't, that stuff it's not nothing. And I think I would love to hear kind of Juju's perspective on that, dating back to the spring of, him kind of hating maybe the early days of that. But that is all part of development for a young player, particularly at that quarterback position where leadership is a part of the job description.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, it's at the top of the job description for a quarterback. You got to be able to lead. And the dudes around you got to be able to know that when things are going well, when things are going bad, when we're on a bye week, for example, you are still grinding and doing everything you need to do to lead us. And I just love that from both of those guys.
And I'll add, it could have also been like a little bit of mind games from Ben. Like, I've never heard anyone question Julian's work ethic.
Right.
Yeah.
But Ben's probably thinking, hey, if I can get this guy to work harder than anyone else, well, we know he's the most talented.
Exactly.
And so then we're going to have something really special.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about at the end there. Iron sharpening iron. I mean, he sees it, and I think you're going to see that with the fire that he was talking about from Julian as well. Like, if all of a sudden you start to see Julian like talking like Shedeur on the football field, do you know how lit that would be?
Yes.
And then just going back to leadership real quick, Mike Elko, the head coach at Texas A&M, had a great quote this weekend. They had an insane game. They were down 30 to 3. 30 to 3.
Yeah.
Came back and won 31-30.
Who were they playing again?
South Carolina. And Mike Elko said after the game, as the head coach and as like the leader of this program, my job is to be like the opposite of like the vibe pretty much. And that's kind of what Ben was to Julian at that point. I mean, Julian's probably showing up on campus, right?
Yeah, everybody hyping him up.
Yeah,
this
he's
dude's
feeling
great.
himself, he's early enrollee, all this stuff, man. And then to have Ben come and be like, nah, you got to work harder. You know what I mean? Like, that's what leadership is. And it goes back to what you're saying. Like, if it was easy, everyone would do it. But having these uncomfortable conversations, kind of putting people on the spot, it's not for everyone. And also there's like stages to it too, right? Like, I think everyone would have said Ben was a leader coming into this year, but I think he realized like there's real stages to this leadership thing. Like you can call yourself a leader, but when you're actually like not even thinking twice about doing things and guys just all around respect you, that's when you truly like become the heartbeat of the team, like what Cam kind of was for the team the last 2 years.
You know what my first reaction was to seeing that Texas A&M come back? Just pity for the South Carolina fans. Like, I just immediately felt so bad for them because I've been in that situation, unfortunately, several times. And I'm just like, oh my God, bro, there's a group of like 10 bros who went to the game together, sitting at their house. Like, they have beers cracked open. There's other college football games on. And like, it'll just go silent for like 3 minutes at a time. And then one of them will just be like,
I just can't believe
how the fuck? I'm just like, that's one of the worst feelings ever. I could put myself in those shoes right now. Those guys are having a terrible night.
And they've had a terrible season too. And they were probably the one like, yes, finally, we're finally putting a game together. Like, yes, this is. And then it just all falls apart for them.
That video brutal. Of Shane Beamer at halftime going into the tunnel, just like fist pumping. You didn't see that?
No, he was turned up.
Like, oh my! It's like they won the Super Bowl, bro. It's crazy.
Oh wow! Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's rough. I'll show it to you.
That's tough. I mean, one more. Yeah, we'll take a break here.
Okay. Well, more on the other side of this break. And shout out to our friends over at Monarch. We all like to save money. Do you like to save money? If you do, hit up our friends at Monarch. They're the best in the business at allowing you to save money. It puts everything in a super easy to read display, all your accounts, investments, where you got money coming in from, where it's going out to, and maybe where you can pinch a little pennies and save a couple bucks. I mean, holidays are around the corner, man. We're all trying to save a little bit more. Download Monarch to help you out. It was named the best budgeting app of 2025 by the Wall Street Journal, and it's Forbes' best app for couples. As sure as we all know, I mean, money is the number one reason why relationships fall apart. Don't let that happen to you, and use our friends over at Monarch. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code DNVR at monarch.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code DNVR. And also shout out our friends at Common Spirit Health, where it's more than just hospitals and clinics. They got a dedicated team of passionate and expert caregivers who are just trying to get you healthy and keep you healthy. Even if you're an athlete, been dealing with those nagging injuries, with whatever comes with whatever you're doing physically out there, our friends over at Common Spirit can help you out. They're all over the state. They got 20 hospitals, 240 clinics and care sites right here in Colorado, and they can help you out with anything. Preventative care. I mean, if you've been dealing with the sniffles, I mean, it's cold season right now, so make sure you're taking care of yourself. We don't need any more reminders, right? A lot of health reminders this year to take care of each other and get yourself checked out. So make sure you do that and use our friends over at Common Spirit Health. Experience the difference compassion makes. Find a Common Spirit location near you and discover a new standard of health and healing by visiting mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the 9-2, first place, top of the AFC, mighty Denver Broncos. Shout out the Denver Broncos, shout out Common Spirit, and shout out Monarch.
I really did forget how much it improves my life when the Broncos are good. It's been 10 years.
It's absolute bliss.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's just like, I mean, very similar things were happening last year. I remember last year when we were, winning a bunch, I came in and Andre was like, wow, you're really yourself when the Buffs are winning.
Just glowing.
But this year, Sunday precedes Monday, which means you just get to start the week with just such good vibes.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, Mars. Yeah, them Pats looking good too. I can't even jack it.
Yeah, we'll see. Long way to go. Long way to go for the Broncos too. You were going to say something, Scotty.
One other quote. Do we have any more Coach Prime clips to show?
Yes, we're going to talk about the portal and then Shedeur.
One quote that I wrote about today that really stood out to me when Coach Prime said it, just about Julian's development, where he goes, this kid is starting to understand the game a lot more mentally, psychologically. And I think that goes hand in hand potentially into what Juju talked about at the West Virginia game, that he's not going home for the bye week. Coach Prime, pretty much said that today. Yeah, that like he didn't go nowhere. He stayed here and hammered on the film and trying to correct this thing. And because we talked about it a little bit, I believe maybe Saturday after the game, that there's film now out there on Juju. And Kenny Dillingham he's going to attack it, right? I think he even alluded to it yesterday during his presser, where he was talking about Julian and mentioning the fact that Julian was somebody that Kenny Dillingham recruited to Oregon. And
I didn't like that quote
about Julian.
He was like, "Yeah, I kind of recruited him for a little while."
Yeah,
I mean, he made it sound like I cooled on him.
Because Julian, everyone knew he was a Buff after a certain point, even though Julian wasn't going to announce it.
Anyways,
that just rubbed you the wrong way.
Yeah, didn't like it. And I'm a Dilly guy.
Yeah,
we'll talk about ASU. They've got other issues going on too.
But that's something Dillingham mentioned about Juju. He was like, he can really locate the ball well down the field, particularly vertically. And obviously, he is an elite deep ball thrower. We saw it against West Virginia, and I'm sure that's something that Arizona State is going to try to limit with Juju in this game on Saturday. But that's where film study comes in. And that's where your understanding of the offense and what defenses are trying to do to you comes in. And I think this bye week it was massive for Juju, coming off of his first start to kind of get that out of the way, get those jitters, those nerves out of the way, have a full week, 2 weeks pretty much before your next game to, like I said, really lock in on film, lock in on the opponent. I'm sure he was able to watch Arizona State this past weekend. So that's just massive, and I just love that from Juju. This continued maturation and development, not just on the field but off the field with the film study. Obviously, Coach Prime is noticing it. Ben Finneseth is obviously noticing it as well. So I just love that, and I'm so excited to see his first start at Folsom Field this weekend.
It's going to be electric on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for anyone to lock in from the bench.
Yeah, facts.
And as much as, maybe there's career backups who are just used to it, who say, yeah, I got to prepare like I'm the starter every week, even when I'm not.
Yeah.
That's maybe easier to do also when you're 27.
Right.
When you're 17, it's really hard to completely lock in when you don't feel like you're going to play.
Exactly.
And criticize that all you want, but I'll make that excuse. And now that Julian's getting his opportunity, everyone's like, whoa, he's really locking in. It's like, of course, man. He wants to win. He wants to perform. He was literally brought to tears by losing after that first game. Like, he, of course, is going to lock in now and take it to another level. And this is a guy who was like identifying coverages in middle school.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, he doesn't have like the mental side of the game down, but there's levels to it, right?
Right.
He's on his way to PhD type of levels, freshman year of college, you know? And so this is all like awesome information for him to bank away for next season. Everything that's thrown at him now is a test. And so this game especially is going to be awesome for him because it's going to be the first time he sees a counter move.
Right.
It's all about moves and counter moves.
Exactly.
And, you know, the GOATs, the Peyton Mannings of the world, always had another counter move in their back pocket. And, you know, you'd see games where like that Chargers game on Monday or Sunday Night Football where they're down 24-0 and it's like, oh, they got him with the first move.
Yep.
He's got a counter move that he'll figure out. Boom, Broncos come back and win. Like this is his first in college test of a counter move. And maybe they land that punch.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't. But no matter what, he gets to file away that information and be like, okay, so when I do this, they're going to do this. And then I guess I have to do this. And that'll come out the next week, you know? And so this is real. I mean, this is why we were just pounding the table desperately for him to get out there on the field because all of this information that he is filing away is incredibly valuable to him.
Yep. It's going to be so much fun on Saturday, man. Folsom's going to be turned.
I wanted to bring up one other thing real quickly that Coach Prime brought up multiple times today on his own accord. First down and how important first down is. Getting 4 or 5 yards at least on first down is. So I followed up and asked him, like, what's the key to staying on schedule on first down? And the first 2 words out of his mouth were being creative. And I was like, noted. And that obviously made me think of the offensive play caller, right? Brett Bartolone, who I thought did a solid job against West Virginia in his second game calling plays for this Colorado football team, obviously stretching the passing game more vertically. But that's what I want to see next. I want to see more creativity, more efficiency on first down because I mentioned it last week. Average third down distance for Colorado in that West Virginia game, 11.8 yards. That's a tough position to continually putting your true freshman quarterback in.
Actually insane that he almost threw for 300 yards in those conditions.
It is. So imagine when he's able to get into 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4, and you can start to
hit a play
work
action.
on the vertical passing game that you started to unlock. So that's what I'm going to be looking at, particularly this weekend, is how well and efficient this team is on first down in particular, because that is going to help Julian continue to grow and get confident and find a rhythm earlier in games, because it took him about a quarter to get into a rhythm last week, which is expected for his first start. But that first down efficiency is key for all 11 on that field.
I mean, look, so West Virginia, there was some progress, right, from the offensive side in terms of scheme and play calling and all that. But we talked about it, after that game and the lead up to that game. This game against ASU is, I don't know, I'm cautiously optimistic, I guess is the best way I'd put it. I don't expect anything crazy to change, but Coach Bart and now Julian got a whole extra week. Like, I'm sure they've been talking. They've been installing some new stuff as well. So, again, the big changes aren't going to happen until after the season, but I'm confident that, you're going to have to kind of throw the book at this team too. This is a really talented team.
Also, especially defensively.
Yeah.
So Coach Prime said that Julian put in 9 hours over the weekend of film study. And then I saw people like criticizing that wasn't enough. I'm just like, do you know how long 9 hours is?
Football's not a complicated game either.
But they're like, I would have expected him to watch every ASU game. You absolutely could watch that in 9 hours of film.
So them just the folks who just have never done it.
I know. I just think of 9 hours would be like watching the first 4 Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
That's your whole work day.
Yeah, exactly. What are we talking about here? That is so much. That is a lot of time. And he said
100%.
over the bye weekend.
Exactly.
Because they only were off for the weekend.
Right.
So he's saying when they were all off, that's when he put in 9 hours of film study.
100%.
Some people nothing will be good enough.
Exactly.
For sure.
Right. Exactly.
Well, if he said 15, would that have been
That's it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
9 hours of the weekend. That's the whole time, basically. At least one day.
Next clip, coach has been pretty candid about, where the roster needs to improve, what could have been done better, and where they kind of misstepped over the offseason as well. So here's Coach Prime talking about the portal and the misses and, moving forward.
The thing about I'm sorry for stopping you, but I got to interject right there. I'm brutally honest with y'all, man. I tell y'all the truth. You can't get upset or attacked when I tell you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. That's what happens. That's what happens with everybody. Like, think about all these other teams that were supposed to do this. When they don't do this, you can't just. God is giving me something. I'm just trying to compute it and give it to you. I hadn't forgotten how to coach in a year. Like I hadn't forgot how to coach in a year. A lot of these wonderful coaches out there that is not winning this season, they hadn't forgotten how to coach in a year. We did some things we should have done. That's on us. I know what I want. I know what I should see. And this year I'm going to see it. That's the best way I could place it to you. I'm going to see it. No ifs, ands, buts about it. I'm going to see what I want to see.
Coach Prime sounding like he sounded at the end of the season 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he has. He knows what he's got to go get.
You say that a light has been turned on inside of him?
Potentially. But that's what I kept thinking about when he was talking about the future and the portal today. Is like, this just sounds exactly like how he sounded 2 years ago, how just locked in. He knows exactly what needs to happen. And I think he's got like a real chip on his shoulder from this year. I mean, he obviously sees the disrespect. And today Rick George had to respond to a quote tweet saying like coach isn't on the hot seat and stuff, like insane stuff going on right now from the outside. But to me, coach seems pretty, I'm not gonna say pretty motivated, just extra motivated, more motivated than normal to get this thing on the right track and start winning more football games again.
I think you hit it on the head, bro, at the gate when you're like, he knows what he has. He knows what he has to go get. Mm-hmm. Because as we talked about and highlighted last week, there are at least 8 cornerstones on this roster who you can build around, who are great foundational pieces of this roster, of this team, of this program.
And sorry, real quick, 2 years ago, it was about finding 7 to 8 more dogs.
Yep.
And now you have those pieces here, and they're young.
Gotta get 7, 8 more.
You just
for
gotta
sure
get the ancillary pieces.
But you just have you don't have to rebuild an offensive line. You don't have to, you have Ben coming back. You have a safety room coming back. We'll get to a bunch of these other guys, but there's a fire probably lit under DJ McKinney going into next year. You know what I mean? There's a lot. So sorry.
There's another quote from Coach Prime that stuck with me because I'm not kidding you. When I talk to people, not like real Buffs fans, just like random people, like my barber or whoever, they're like, oh, so you think Coach Prime's going to stick around? And I'm like, what? Of course he is. You think he's going out like this?
Yeah.
Right.
And he said, quote, "You've got the right man. I promise you do. And I'm going to prove that to you. Just give me an opportunity and a little more time, and I'm going to prove that to you." And that goes back to something that we've been saying all along. He has a chip on his shoulder. He has something to prove. He wants to show everyone that he can do this shit at the highest possible level. And then last year, he proved a lot. And then everyone said, well, yeah, Travis and Shedeur. What can you do without Travis and Shedeur? And now he wants to prove those people wrong too.
Yep.
And we talk about this a lot sometimes with players who have injuries. And Coach Prime missed an offseason.
Yep.
Pretty much. Going into this season and how much that impacted his ability to maybe see things roster, player, personnel wise that maybe he could have caught before week 1 or act on things or switch things up, do things differently. That's just like a player, missing an offseason and coming in, week 3 of his season and expecting him to hit the ground. No, it's just not going to happen like that. But again, assuming good health, he's going to have a full offseason to see what he has, see what he has to go getting, and go get it and go execute on a recruiting plan for the transfer portal for the high school ranks as well. So we've talked about that and how impactful that was from an adverse perspective. Him just not really being there because of his health issues this off season. And I think it's obvious now at this point, it impacted at least 1%.
More than that. I mean, look,
Clearly more than that.
he keeps talking about these intangibles, right? Leadership, accountability, just everything to go along with that. And people like to bring up, pride and tradition and all this stuff going on with the program right now. And it's like, he missed that's when you figure out all these intangibles is when you're not doing football things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in the off season, and I'm sure that's why he talks so much about it. And I don't want to say it's like a tinge of regret because this wasn't his choice to get cancer and miss the off season, obviously. Right. But I think that's what he keeps looking back on and why he keeps talking about leadership and all that. Because he probably would have seen some of those things and have been able to act it on a lot of those things, seeing it firsthand, as opposed to obviously missing a lot of it, having to deal with cancer.
And honestly, too, Shedeur probably catching a lot of that shit too.
Of course.
Last offseason. Travis might be catching Cam is catching some of that non-leadership stuff in years past, and those guys aren't here anymore. But this is when you start to build the new version of the Ben Finneseths of the world, the Tawfiq Byards of the world. It took some time for Tawfiq even, who we now look at as a leader of this team, the heart and soul. It took him some time after transferring in to fully get acclimated into his role, not only as a leader, but what he needs to do on the football field as well. So all those things just make me think that this offseason is obviously a massive one, but it's going to be one where Coach Prime is there for, unlike last season, which a lot of people just like to ignore for whatever reason.
Yep. All right. Let's talk about Shedeur. Quick shout out to Taco Bell. It's Taco Tuesday, though.
Tuesday.
Soon.
Good luck.
Happy Taco Tuesday, Dre.
Happy Taco Tuesday to you all.
Going with the classics today.
I love that.
Look at the beauty of a Crunchwrap Supreme.
Yeah, you were
Gotta be
hyped about this one.
#1 hexagonal food in the world.
Oh my god. Who else is even on the power ranking?
Maybe just non-square could be up there.
Yeah, it rules the entire power rankings. Okay, and I'm going beefy 5-layer. Another classic.
Bad news for Hank, who
God, that hit.
has been craving a beefy 5-layer burrito so deeply. I think he left the room so he didn't have to watch us eat these beefy 5-layer
That actually
burritos
makes
and
sense.
Crunchwrap Supremes. Oh, there he is right now.
Thought you were done. I really thought you were done. I've just been drinking my water. They didn't have any milk.
I
That's
love a
so
Crunchwrap
bad.
Supreme. My God, that's good.
This beefy 5-layer is so great. It's just perfection. Hot sauce on it?
Shout
the
out to
best.
Taco Bell, man. The best in the game. And don't forget about the Crunchwrap. There's always so many great options. Crunchwrap, beefy 5-layer. The classics always hit. Happy Taco Tuesday.
All right.
Shout out Taco Bell, man.
Shout out Taco Bell. Here's Coach Prime. He was asked about Shedeur multiple times today. Yeah, let's just hear what he has to say, and then we'll talk about it.
Don't know. Haven't made that decision as of yet. I'm so focused on what we have at hand. I'm not thinking about that, although I just got off the phone with him a minute ago. But I'm really focused on what we have at hand. I was in the office alone. I told him this past week that he was going to play. It's going to be one way or another. I thought the Ravens would have played better early on to provoke him getting in. I didn't want him to get in by injury because I'm fond of Dylan and I want him to be successful as well. But I didn't want that to happen. But getting in the way he did, I know there's going to be some inconsistencies of a lot of things because I know football. But I was happy for him just getting the opportunity and running on that field because I know the fight behind the fight. Yeah, if I can say that modestly. I know what's been transpiring behind the curtains. And I'm just proud of him because he's not just saying the right things, he's doing and living the right things. That's just who he is. And I'm glad through trials and tribulations there has been a consistency of the thread that he's been speaking. And just like the things you guys heard for a couple years, that's who he is. And they keep trying to make him out to be somebody else, but he is who he is. He's a Sanders. His dad. I'm his dad. So, of course, because I know football, and I know him, and I know what I see, and I know some stuff behind the curtain. So I offer him not just on the field advice, off the field advice, life advice, because he's going through a lot right now. A lot of stuff is coming at him. and he's doing a great job. Thank God that God prepared him for everything he's dealing with. I mean, I think a lesser man would have crumbled, but he's been built for this, and who else is built for the adversity like he is, like going into the NFL. I don't think it's too many quarterbacks that are built like that for the adverse situations and not having the best of things to happen around him. I think we've always done that. We've never had the best of anything, you know. Set aside lifestyle, I tried my best to do what a father should do, but when it came to playing on the field, we never had the best of this, the best of that, but we've made the most of this and the most of that. I applaud the young man. I'm just proud of him.
Cooking.
Yep. First part was him being asked about potentially going to the game on Sunday. It's in Vegas, clearly. And then, he was asked about just advice he's given to Shedeur.
I'm excited for Sunday. I tell you that much. It sounds like Shedeur is going to be the starter.
Yep.
With Dylan Gabriel
Who
still
knows?
in
He better
concussion
be.
protocol.
We're still talking about the Browns.
And for it to be in Vegas, for a team that it sounded like the Sanders camp might have wanted to go to potentially, and clearly the Raiders decided, no, we're good. I love that Shedeur's first start is going to be against one of those teams.
Great point. Great point.
Who would have made the list, if you remember, before the season or right after the draft.
No, they made the list.
Thank you, God.
They definitely, thank you, God, exactly. I love it's so appropriate that his first start is going to be against the Las Vegas Raiders. But that part at the end, though, that Coach Prime brought up, I think is probably going to be taken out of context by some people, but I think it is so on point because we've talked about this. Shedeur, part of what made him so great here at Colorado particularly is that he consistently did more with less. And you can say, well, he had Travis Hunter with him the whole time. All right, that's valid.
It's about all he had.
Exactly
Not
right.
the whole time.
Back in 2023, this was the most stacked quarterback. And the offensive line situation was brutal. And certainly he contributed to some of those stacks.
Of course.
But the offensive line situation was brutal. He had no running game. You go back to last year, kind of a similar situation, except he just had better receivers. And I think he was just more of a developed college football quarterback. But again, no running game, a subpar offensive line. And that's another reason why I think he is going to be just fine this weekend and beyond for the Cleveland Browns or whatever franchise, because he's used to doing more with less. The Browns are a mess offensively, right? The offensive
Not just
line,
offensive.
There's not really a run game, although Judkins has flashed some. The receivers are dropping passes. Jerry Jeudy is Jerry Jeudy. Like, they have issues, although Fannin looks kind of good. But that is kind of Shedeur's comfort zone. Like, knowing that I got to put this cape on right real quick. If we're going to score points, it's going to be because of my right arm more times than not. And he is very much used to that. And so I'm just really excited for Shedeur to get his first start this weekend, man. It's going to be a movie because he just got his feet wet last week. Obviously, you look at the stat line, he didn't play well, thrown in that situation, probably not thinking he was going to play against a defense that wants to prove a point. Like, I don't know if y'all heard Roquan Smith's quotes about, Shedeur after the game. Like, they were trying to prove a point, and they would have done that to any rookie quarterback, but there's probably an additional level when it's a Sanders on the last name of that jersey. But I feel like that was a good, let's call it maybe welcome the NFL moment for Shedeur. He's going to get the full week now to prepare and look at film with this Raiders team, this Raiders defense that is very susceptible, that is clearly not good. But Max Crosby, you got to watch out for him, and hopefully they have a plan for that.
Absolutely, man. I didn't get to watch intently that game because
During Broncos.
There's a lot going on.
the Broncos were busy getting the belt out. Not really.
Yeah,
but,
They whipped
I was proud of Shedeur because I thought he was thrown into an impossible situation, and the stats reflect it. And with all of that being said, he put a ball in the hands of the wide receiver in the end zone. And by the way, if that DB on that play was Riley Moss, they'd have him in Alcatraz.
Facts.
It very well could have been called pass interference, but the ball was on his hands. It was a great throw. And I just feel like despite everything working against him, and, forget the debate of whether it's fair or organizational failure, all that, like, it is what it is. The truth is he had no reps with that team.
And that was confirmed after the game by the head coach that was his first reps with the starting offense since he was drafted.
Center said he barely ever heard his cadence.
Cadence, bro.
And
crazy.
So it is what it is. You got your opportunity, though.
Yeah.
It was incredibly difficult situation to go succeed in.
Yep.
And after all of that, he still was able to put a drive together at the end and give them a chance to win.
If Gage catches that pass, this narrative is so different today.
Totally. And watching him sit on the sideline after the game, kind of head in hands, was tough to watch. But I also like felt proud of him. Just you could tell how much he cared, and he was like, "Man, one slipped through my fingers there. Actually, wasn't his fingers, someone else's fingers. But like, I almost had it." And but you could almost see like there was a thought like, "Man, I wasn't sure if I was going to get this opportunity.
Facts.
Now I got it, and I wish I could have done better."
Yes. Yeah.
I really look forward to seeing what can happen when he has a real week of preparation. And one last point on this, LeJohntay going over there.
Yeah.
That shit meant something to me. Like watching two Buffs on the sideline like that, LeJohntay trying to lift him up, knowing he's down, was just like, that was special.
And they were in Cleveland Browns and Baltimore Ravens jerseys too. Yeah, man. I mean, what an opportunity this weekend too. The Raiders suck.
Straight up.
Look, they have had some real issues this year. They can't get anything going offensively, and the defense just gives out. As great as Max Crosby is, he can only really carry them for so long. Yeah, exactly. So
it's just like the same thing going back to just how much you could tell he cared. The same thing that we were saying about Julian.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, like it's just there's
same vibe.
Competitors like that just cannot stand to lose.
I mean, they're cut from the same cloth. There's a reason why we always compare them to each other.
They hate losing more than they love winning.
100%. So hopefully the Browns actually, put Shedeur in a position to actually succeed this weekend.
Well, Ollie in the comments says he wasn't ready. You can't be ready when never given the opportunity to prepare to be ready.
Right.
They had no chance to be ready. And still, even with that, in my opinion, that 25-yard dot he threw to Fannin, best throw I seen by a Browns quarterback all
Since
season.
Flacco, at least.
All season.
Yeah. I mean, they're on drugs over there in Cleveland. It makes like they're not trying to win games, bro. It's crazy. Like you can just see the arm talent and like it just makes no sense. Like if you put all this time and investment that you put into trying to, I guess, develop Dylan Gabriel or whatever into Shedeur,
exactly,
you'd actually have something going right now. Potentially what we're talking about, like a spark in the chest type of thing. You know what I mean? But
definitely.
You don't even have that. Like everything's lost. I mean, you got this guy being mentioned for other head coaching jobs by talking heads, and he's not even fired yet. It's a total mess.
That.
They're also represented by the same agency too.
Of course they are.
Crazy. That's it from pressers today. A couple more things before we get out of here real quick. Just ASU. This came out this morning.
Yikes.
So I don't know who had it first. I think it was Pete Nakos, actually. But this is from Steve Wiltfong at On3, this article. Arizona State quarterback Sam Leavitt's return to program next season is, quote, doubtful. According to Steve Wiltfong and Pete Nakos, Sam Leavitt is actively shopping the camp. Yes, the camp of Sam Leavitt is actively shopping him at a high level, quote, to other programs with the plans of entering the transfer portal on January 2nd.
Like I said, and I'm going to continue to say, because this is my new phrase that I like. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, college football sucks ass.
It hit me, I think, more so than any other week this week.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on.
On Saturday, though, shit fucking rips.
Yeah, 30-3, A&M, South Carolina, sign me up.
Yeah, but this sucks, man. I hate this, and it even could potentially benefit Colorado, and I still hate it. My first reaction to this, though, is that they're just trying to get him a raise at ASU with this report, and you know, make sure that they empty the coffers to try and keep him around. But just the fact that they're like, hey, look, we got Sam Leavitt, Ohio State, Texas, you know, or I guess both of those guys have quarterbacks, but Alabama, you lose Ty Simpson, you could have Leavitt. Like, what are you willing to pay so we can go back to ASU and make a match?
Right.
It's just sucks. It just sucks. So
For what it's worth, Leavitt's brother did come out and say that report is cap. So, for what it's worth.
I mean,
he came out publicly.
I don't even
IG.
know what to believe anymore in this day and age, though. I really don't.
And apparently, like, did you see the screenshot? Like, his brother posted a screenshot of Nikos texting him, like,
Yeah.
hey, like, just so you know, we're going to go forward with this report of Leavitt. And dude replies, his brother replies, why would you do that? That's not what's going on. So we'll see. We'll see who.
He wouldn't be
who
the
was
first
right.
player to actively test the waters
Yeah.
while he's still in season.
For sure. But that makes me think that Kenny is looking elsewhere too, though.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. King Mars says trying to get that SEC money, and
Yeah.
this came out over the weekend as well from a source that is going to be remaining unnamed, a betting source. Kenny Dillingham is now the odds-on favorite at a certain source to be the next LSU head coach.
I see what you're saying.
But I don't know how valid these odds are, honestly, because it's like Nick Saban's like the next under there. Like Lane Kiffin's like plus 700. All that stuff's going on. So I don't know how valid that actually is, but you were talking about it for the last month or so, how if you're a university with an open head coaching job, why wouldn't you try and court Kenny Dillingham with what he's shown the last, 3 years now?
Bro, this is just kind of another thing that sucks about college football. Kenny Dillingham grew up an ASU fan, grew up in Phoenix, went to a local high school right down the street, was a student at ASU, didn't even play football at ASU, was just coached his high school team down the street, gets a job at ASU, is doing all of the right things, got them to the playoff. But maybe this isn't college football, this is just life. He's going to have an opportunity to make multi-generational wealth for his family.
Mm-hmm.
He's 35 years old.
Yeah.
Young dude.
He's literally our age.
Yeah.
And he's going to have a chance to sign like I don't know, $150 million contract, something stupid like that.
Well, maybe not at LSU, though, because the LSU governor is getting really pissed off about these contracts.
Either way, everyone has a number.
Yeah.
And so there's a world in which Kenny Dillingham just stays at ASU forever and like coaches there for 40 years or something. And they're naming the stadium and the buildings and all this shit after him. There's another world where he just says like, I kind of have to take this so that my kids are set for life.
Yep. And then Cornhole said right there, the text from his brother, he did say he's still deciding in the text. So even though he may not have made an official decision and that's why they're upset, they're clearly contemplating going into the portal and trying to get a raise.
And again, I think that comes back to Dillingham too. Because if you're unsure if your coach is going to be back, it would behoove you to get ahead of the search and start putting your name out there before, you'd rather be first than last.
And I'm sure the head coach and the quarterback have talked.
You would think. But I think, for what it's worth, I think Kiffin stays at Ole Miss too. I think so too.
I
think he's going to be the one to drop the video. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
He's just an expert troll.
Yeah,
he does
for
this all the time.
He was on McAfee today. What did he say?
Nothing much.
He said that the ultimatum report was bogus, basically, that there is no ultimatum. Because what came out, I don't know if this was yesterday or Sunday, it came out that Ole Miss wants Lane Kiffin, or they're giving him an ultimatum of deciding whether he's leaving or going before the Egg Bowl next weekend.
I'm not a McAfee hater by any stretch, but I feel like they're the king of having people on in important moments and those people saying nothing.
Yeah.
Like, remember all of the
typical.
Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
everyone's
Yes.
like, oh, he's going to announce what he's
Jeez.
doing. And then he just doesn't. And it's like, oh, you got like 1 million viewers for nothing.
Yeah.
I swear they just say like, hey, you should come on. And you don't even have to say anything.
Right.
And then Nhilla 27 says James Franklin, Virginia Tech. He's the first coach off the carousel this cycle. I mean, it's still mid-November. So, I mean, they're going to...
My take on this is that Virginia Tech hiring James Franklin is going to end up being a better hire than whatever Penn State does. Or that school.
I agree.
I agree with that. I mean, James Franklin's going to be he's walking in with recruits.
Yeah, yes.
100% he is.
Yes. Oh, we were talking about it in the media room today as well. Like, what's success for Virginia Tech, in my opinion, is just returning to relevancy.
Yeah.
Because that program hasn't been relevant since Mike Vick. Certainly the majority of my life. I know they've had a couple good teams.
Tyrod Taylor, they were pretty good. I think they played like Harbaugh and Luck in an Orange Bowl, I think.
For
so.
sure. Yeah, they've had, year flash in the pan here
Sure,
and there,
sure.
but in terms of consistent relevancy, that's
sure.
not a spot Virginia Tech has been in. And I do think that's a spot that James Franklin can get that program. And if he does, it'll be a success. And with the reporting like that, he's got funding to compete at the top of the ACC. That's a conference that's going to be wide open year in and year out. Because, say what you want about, Clemson or Miami, they're certainly up and down, particularly these last few years. So I think Virginia Tech is going to have an opportunity to be in the thick of that ACC race each and every year.
Tech was decent last year, though, too.
They were. I know they certainly started strong. I feel like they faltered down the stretch.
Yeah.
Because I think Drones had a good start to the year and then kind of fell off a little bit.
I was kind of expecting them to wait around for Shane Beamer to get fired by South Carolina.
I don't know if you'd want Shane Beamer right now.
It's just a Beamer legacy there, though.
For sure. He also, Shane Beamer today was saying something how next year, these Tuesdays, we're going to be seeing where we're ranked in the college football playoff.
Oh, wow. That's a crazy thing to say after what happened on Saturday.
We'll see, man. I could see Sellers just going elsewhere, too. He'd be one of the most commanded or in-demand quarterbacks in the portal.
He absolutely should.
Sheesh.
I mean, I almost said, what's his name? The pass rusher, the freak.
Stewart.
Dylan Stewart. He'd be one of the top available players in the portal.
Yep.
If those two went in the portal, they'd be 1 and 2 probably.
Yep. And Nick Harbor might be, with all his drawbacks, he might be up there in the top 5.
That one play he had this past week, didn't he have the big touchdown this way? That one play is going to get him paid again this offseason.
He's had
by
2 of
another
them
team.
like that this year, too.
Yeah.
He's a track star. That's literally what he is. I'm not joking. That's what he is.
I know.
Please bring him here and just let Julian just throw lobs to him.
He was, I don't know if he was close, but they were recruiting him pretty hard. All right.
Maybe got to visit?
Potentially.
I think maybe it was rumored that he was going to visit. He didn't end up doing it.
I don't know, they were trying to get a lot of those guys, those tight end edge hybrid guys.
Yeah. How's that other guy doing? I forget his name.
Kylan Fox?
No. The one who went to Nebraska.
Oh, Malachi
Coleman?
Didn't he enter the portal? Yeah, he's at Minnesota now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's a runner. He's
he
a track
has
star.
3 receptions for 27 yards.
Thanks.
Tough one. All right. Let's go to the chat. And then we'll get out of here.
We already got it.
All right. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll have, I don't know if we get coaches tomorrow.
I do not believe we do either, but we get about 3 players.
Yeah. So we'll have more media, and then we'll get into more of this ASU game as we get closer. We'll see y'all then. Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.